bunch of Kirby props. So why are we going over 3.5 hits? And why do you still think Kirby stays in the game?
So so last night when I looked at this number, all these numbers, none of these numbers were here. So I that's why I told you literally like 2:30 I was playing nothing today. So after you said, do you have anything for today? I'm like, all right, let me just go look. Because originally I wanted to play over 3.5 hits allowed for Scooble, because I think Scooble's going 6 or 7 tonight, and I think Scooble's the type to spread 4 hits out the whole night. And no, Sean, I'm not saying he's going to pitch bad. I'm just saying you can give up 4 hits over 6 innings, still pitch really well, and they're not going to take Scooble out. But then it got heavily juiced. It was like minus 160, minus 170, and then today it got flipped to 4.5 hits. So I'm like, all right, I can't do it. When you look at Kirby's given up over 3.5 hits to the Tigers in both starts this season against them. And there's a lot of guys on Detroit other than Kerry Carpenter who has great numbers against Kirby. 4 hits is a perfect number to kind of spread it out over 5 innings. I think he's going 5. I think that Kirby's going to pitch well enough today that he's going to stay in. Let's remember, he's not a guy that he's not a Taiwan Walker. He's not a starting pitcher with like a 6 ERA he's not an Aaron Nola. He's not some of these guys that you're going to just be like, I'm throwing him out there and having him go one time through the order. I think he's a pretty good pitcher. And this number's gone down. I saw people posting that they got Kirby's outs at 16.5 last night. Ooh. So it's gone down 3 outs since then. And now he doesn't have to even go 5, 4 2/3, and we win this bet. So I think Kirby goes 4 2/3 today. I think he goes 5. I put a little bit more on the hits allowed prop than the outs prop because, they are not necessarily correlated. He may give up 4 hits in an inning and be done, and I win one of the 2 bets. But I think Kirby does all right today. I think he spreads 4 hits out over 5 innings, and I'll take both of these bets.
We do talk a lot about props here, but we have the Tigers who are, I just want to get an updated look at this line. The best number you can get on Detroit's minus 115. The best number you can get on Seattle's plus 104. Found that at Pickett. Tigers short road favorites at Seattle. Of course, you've got a Cy Young pitcher in Tarek Skubal pitching. The Mariners' bullpen is suspect. The Mariners also tend to flame out in elimination games with their bats. Where do you lean in this game? Who's moving on?
I mean, the only way you play a lot of Skubal games, I know we can't do it now because the juice is ridiculous. You take the other team's run line because it just feels like this is going to be a close, low-scoring game. It feels like this is going to be a game because
5.5 total, even though it did go up to 6.
Right. I can't take the under on a 5.5, but just, the value is always going to be there at taking the run line for the opposition against an ace. That's just how you usually bet these games because the aces usually have an inflated price. Now, since this is game 7 and you remember, this is game 5. So you remember last year what happened in game 5 with Skubal. I don't see that happening once again.
I don't see him letting them beat him again. I know that's such a stupid public take to have, but Skubal's a Cy Young winner for a reason.
I just think this is a 1-run game. I just feel this feels like if somebody gets a lead, I'm live betting the other team's run line, and then if I can get the other team's run line too, and sit there, this feels like a 1-run game tonight. I don't see Skubal giving up a lot. I don't think Kirby gives up a lot. I don't think either of these offenses are all that great. I don't think if you rank the offenses currently left in the baseball playoffs, these are probably the 2 last offenses that are left. I mean, think about it. They're not better than the Dodgers. They're not better than the Blue Jays. They're not better than the Cubs. And they're not better than the Brewers. So, in theory, these are the 2 worst offenses still left against 2 very respectable pitchers. So I see tonight as a 1-run game, and I might be waiting for one team to get a lead, take the other run line, and then maybe the lead changes and take the other run line and just hope for a 1-run game.
But you think the Tigers are moving on?
I don't feel confident in either direction. I really don't. I mean, Skubal in theory should be great, but here's the thing. You watched that Phillies game last night. Glasnow was great, and so was Sanchez. And so was Sanchez. And so was all the pitchers in that game. So you need to score runs to win. You could get 7 shutout innings from Skubal, and then the 8th inning, Holton comes in and gives up a solo shot, and you lose. So I don't think Skubal's
the Mariners bullpen has allowed 10 runs in 6 2/3 across the last 2 games. That is bad.
Yes. I mean, but then again, the Dodgers bullpen was bad and they put the right pitchers in. using Sasaki for 3 innings last night and basically preventing anybody. Like, look, Trinan was coming in for the 11th, 12th, whatever it was, the 12th inning. Like, the Phillies could have scored off of Trinan, but like they had their pitching lined up perfectly for this game. I think Seattle will find a way to get the right pitchers in. As Sean said, like, Luis Castillo's available. Now, I don't know how much that makes me feel better. He's got decent numbers, but he's not a shutdown guy by any stretch of the imagination. I just think you see everybody's best pitchers tonight, and then they'll worry about game 1 coming up next week.
We've got game 2 tomorrow in this elimination style format of game 5. We've got the Brewers and the Cubs going head to head. Any early thoughts there?
So, from what I could tell, it seems like Mizorowski's going in this game. Is that what
That's what I figured.
Is that what I'm reading?
So I'll double check. MLB Network said.
I mean, there's no props up.
Yeah, it's still TBD according to MLB Network. But I would have assumed that just based off of throwing Peralta, and Mizorowski was very well available to come out of the pen, and they didn't use him.
So I'm guessing it's going to be Mizorowski and Imanaga to start.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
So my guess is we're going to get low outs for both of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess Imanaga's is going to be like 8.5. And I'm going to guess that Mizorowski's is going to be like 11.5. And I'd be scared to take either over because both of those pitchers, like if Mizorowski was a veteran,
we're going to go like if Mizorowski gets in trouble, they're just going to deal everybody because they let Peralta go yesterday.
Right. I think he's going to be short for this game, but I also think he could be great. I mean, look at what your guy's done. Your guy has been tremendous in his starts. We can't blame him for the Yankees' failures.
Schlittler,
he was tremendous.
He was the only one.
Exactly. So I think Mizorowski can shove in this game.
It's the year of the rookies. The year of the rookies. We got Schlittler who was going deep. We got in Toronto, Trey Savage was going deep. Now it's Mizorowski's turn.
All right, and Roki as the closer now in LA. I think that the fascinating number will be Mizorowski's strikeouts because if it's too low, I'm looking at the over. Because even in 3 innings, he could get 4 strikeouts. And if it's too high, I might look at the under because I don't think he's going to last 5. So that'll be on the books to decide what they want to do. But I think they're going to protect themselves by making it heavily juiced in either direction to make it so you don't want to take.
And everything's been shaved to unders in the postseason. So you've been able to maybe, aside for Tarek Skubal. We do have a question, though, about a strikeout prop. Kirby, did you like that at all for his case?
So he had what? He had 6 in the last start. He had 6, I think, in 5 innings. He had 8. My thing is the one thing about taking his strikeout over is if he does get yanked quickly, and even if he's not pitching that terribly, you're going to lose on the over. Like you have to go into this game assuming he's only going 5, and then if he's only going 5, there's a chance he only goes 4. And then that's 12 outs, and now you're asking almost half of his outs to be strikeouts. He could certainly do that. But I just don't. I don't like it. I can't take the under because Detroit's free swinging, but I don't think I can take the over in this game. The only one you would feel comfortable with is Skubal because you know he's going to go 6. You know they're going to stretch him to 7.
Uncle Ted, by the way, it is in Seattle. I couldn't go K's on Skubal. I'm going to go outs on Skubal, and I was pissed at myself because yet again, Ariel decides to get all her work done before placing any action down and lost the 19.5. So now it's up to 20.5, Tarek Skubal. Which, if you're going to bet the 19.5, you kind of had to assume that you're betting for him to go 7.
Which I think he can. I mean, I think Detroit will let him go 110 pitches if they need to. If he's pitching well, he could go heck at 120 tonight. The 8.5 was interesting. Now I saw it's up to 9.5. I mean, I can never take an over 9.5. I couldn't
even take it in the regular season at 9.5.
Exactly. I can't take over 9.5 because, let's say by some small chance he does get knocked out early, you have no chance. I fully expect him to go 6 or 7, though. I fully expect him to go 6 or 7.
I think he goes into the 7. Steam's clearly on this over. And if it's going to be a low-scoring game, as you've mentioned time and time again, Matt, there is nobody else that you could really trust right now more than Tarek Skubal in an elimination game.
Correct. I mean,
it is very high. It is very high.
As the chat says, Melton is. I mean, I like Melton. But I don't know if I can trust him in the 8th inning. I might go to Finnegan because I know, he could be good for that role late, but who knows? That's the other question is if he goes 7, who's going the last 2 innings?
Well, I guess that's a question for Shawn Michael to tell us, since he's apparently the GM of the Lions, the Tigers. I want to say
Bears.
Bears, but